day, everyone. My name is Florence Ngozi Okudele, and you are watching New Multicultural Community Hour. I come from a culture where community defines the people. Community is everything. African culture believes that a thriving community is the foundation for fulfilling life potential. We therefore place huge emphasis on making our community strong. This show is about our community and your community. Community is defined as a group of people living in the same place or having particular characteristics in common. It is also defined as a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. From an African perspective, community is a foundational aspect of life where individuals are inextricably linked to their social groups and are defined by their relationships within them. It's a framework for building harmony, providing meaning and shaping moral values and identity. In African culture, community is all about building harmony and giving meaning to life. Community is therefore considered an essential aspect of an individual's existence. The show is about communities and their values, living, learning, and sharing together in harmony. Today we are joined by Dr. Uche Nwankwo, a community leader, philanthropist, and an academic who turned early struggles into a life of service. Despite financial hardships that once forced him to leave school, his determination led him to earn a PhD in agricultural science from Humboldt University in Berlin. He has since become a strong advocate for education, coordinating donations of books, medical supplies, and technology to schools and communities in Nigeria. Recognized as one of the 100 most outstanding Nigerians in the diaspora, Dr. Nwankwo continues to dedicate his life to uplifting others through leadership, faith, and service. Welcome, Dr. Uche Nwankwo.
Thank you.
To you, Multicultural Channel.
It's my pleasure.
Firstly, I want to say that I'm so honored and so happy to have you at our show today. It's been a lifelong dream to bring you here. I know you are such a busy person in the community. It's so hard to get you to do this with me, but I'm so appreciative of you dedicating your time to doing this. And this shows also to the type of person that you are, someone that gives his life for the community. So thank you for being here.
I appreciate that. And my goal is to help other people to succeed. So if you're succeeding, I'm succeeding too. So despite my busy schedule, it's my privilege to be here because of my principle.
Thank you so much. We're going to start with your childhood, your upbringing. You know, when I was reading the bio and some of the things around you, I was kind of like, oh, I thought I know Dr. Uche Nwankwo, but now I realize that I just knew a little bit of you. So please, can you talk to viewers about your growing up and how it has affected you in what you do today?
Thank you so much for that question. Would I say that my growing up is complicated or not complicated? It can be argued in both ways. And where I came from a family that values community service and Christian-based, so it shaped my upbringing and community service. As a child, we used to do community volunteering and all of that. So growing up, I had dreams and aspirations from my youth. And I probably just have to cut it a little bit short because, at this age, I've quite a lot of experience down the year.
Yeah.
So when I was in the kindergarten before getting to high school, I was, education's been my priority, and also helping people. I used to, as a child, I used to have first aid box. So yeah, people with their whitlow or injury, I'll treat them for free. So being in the medical line kind of was.
Did you have any knowledge of what you are doing, or you just love bandage?
Well,
I know my granddaughter loves, the father is a doctor, but my granddaughter loves band-aids. And we put band-aids everywhere, so.
I can't really say that it's the love of bandage, but rather the drive to help. So there was a book then I managed to get. It was called Where There's No Doctor. So I started reading the book Where There's No Doctor, and then looking at, so it inspired me. So, and because the health center is a little bit far away, you know, how the village setting. So kind of provide the first aid treatment to people. So I was doing that. And of course,
Sorry to cut you short. How old can you say you were at that time?
I was about 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was about 12 years. And so, and I was very, very strong. And like I said, helping harvesting crops for people, helping for elderly people, fetching water for them, and working in their farm, in their garden, all of that, weeding. And so, but when I got to high school, in Nigeria, we call a primary school, right, and secondary school.
Okay.
So I already finished my primary school, and then I got to the secondary school, which I did up to class 2, going to class 3 in secondary school. That's what we will probably call grade 9.
Yeah, grade 9.
Grade 9. Yeah, so we had a financial challenge. And of course, before then, I also used to run business in the house. So we had a store in our house. So I was selling provisions.
Helping your mom or dad?
Yeah,
or you?
helping, contributing to the financial need of the household. So I was in all of that, so you can see that I was very industrious, even right from childhood. Elder brother, who was the breadwinner of the house, had some issue where he was working, and so he lost his job, and so we were hit with a financial crisis. Before then, anyway, there was a time that Nigeria changed the currency, so I think that's where the problem started. And I got out all my savings and all the earnings from the business and gave it to my brother, and unfortunately, the money was stolen. So, so the only thing I had then was the stock of items that I was selling. So all the capital, liquid capital, were stolen.
It's interesting to talk about some of the challenges we go through in life and how some of them can actually help shape you. I'm listening to your story now, and my mind is going to people living in challenging environments, people that are living in war-affected areas, refugees, and all that, that didn't really ask for it, but it did happen. So I'm hoping viewers are listening at home that no matter what your situation is right now, it does not determine your future.
Yeah, actually can turn those difficult moments to opportunity. And so within that time, so I was asked to withdraw from high school. And I was a very smart student. I was reading everything readable, so I was very good in literature, in science. I can't say 100% in mathematics, but I was good in science and literature. So when I was asked to withdraw from school, my school teachers didn't like that. They didn't want to lose me for any reason. So one of the literature teacher asked me to live with her so that she could take care of my tuition, my school fees. Growing up in a family, I haven't had an opportunity to live outside the family. So I didn't think, as at that time, I didn't think it was appropriate for me. And so I was given the option to go learn a trade, what you would call a pharmacy assistant. So, in Nigeria, we, especially the southeastern part of the country, we thrive on apprenticeship. So I was asked to go do apprenticeship in Lagos. So I reluctantly left for Lagos to go do the apprenticeship. And so I was out of high school for 2.5 years.
I will stop you again there just to interject a little bit, and also just to bring it back to our today's world and the power of community. I think from the story you shared so far, we are looking at the story of Dr. Uche Nwankwo when he was still young, when he was growing up, and how I think at this point the community come into the whole story. And we are looking at the duties or the role the community has played in ensuring that you are with us today and you are doing what you are doing with us today. So viewers at home, our today's show, we have as our guest Dr. Uche Nwankwo, who is living here in Canada and is also the coordinator and founder of Africans in Winnipeg South. Africans in Winnipeg South. And you are also, I know you wear a lot of hats. You'll be telling viewers about all that. But for this show, we are starting from his early childhood and the role community has played in his life to bring him to where he is today. Every experiences counts. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Every experiences and every little thing that we do in our community helps to build that one person. So, yeah, continue.
Yeah, thank you so much for that comment. And that's why sometimes when new Canadians, especially those from Africa, kind of when you ask them to volunteer, because our system, the Canadian society, is built on volunteerism and community togetherness. And sometimes I hear people say, "Oh, volunteering is not our culture," and I say, "Come on, I volunteered my time and energy." And it was the bedrock of our society as well. So sometimes you sweep the streets, and then church mission work, we contribute in building. In fact, one time in 2015 when I went back to Nigeria, and I went to the Catholic church where I started my Christian life, and I looked at the church building, and I taught people there that I contributed in building this edifice. Both labor and gathering sand and water and all of that. So it was community service and volunteering.
Yeah.
So back to my story about, so I ended up being out of high school for over 2.5 years, but I was still, education has always been my desire. So after serving as an apprenticeship for 2.5 years, I had to enroll back into high school in Lagos.
Focus.
Yeah.
I don't know how you got that name, Focus, but I think you were really focused. And for viewers at home, I think at this point, from what you just told us, I think when we are going through some challenges in our life, it is very, very important that we remain focused on what we want to achieve. And I think today's guest is bringing us to also look at some of the folks living under challenging situations. We don't know what you are facing at your environment or in your life, but it might be challenging. But it's one thing for you to understand that I think the key word today will be focus. For you to focus on what you want to become, and also to realize that the future, the present challenges does not determine your future, but how you continue to face those challenges will determine what will become your future. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Or did I say it right?
No, you're totally correct, because even the name Focus has, many people ask me, how come the name? And a lot of people prefer to call me Focus, and they call me my name. Even my siblings, they call me Bro Focus.
Yeah.
In fellowship, in church, once they get to know Focus, they don't call me my name. Uche gets subsumed in that name, Focus. So it has a story. It has there's a story behind that. And fast track, when I went back to high school and then I got into university, I financed my education. Wow. So that focus came from photography. So one time I was taking, because I cover event, graduation, wedding, and matriculation, every kind of event. So at the university, Federal University of Technology. So one time at the hostel, some people called me to shoot some photograph of them. So I bent down, and so I was, the old cameras, so you have to turn the lens and all that, and look from the lens and all of the focus. So we call it focus. You are focusing the object to get sharp image and clarity. And one guy, his name is Bulus. He was at the third floor of the building, the hostel, and he called out to me, Uche, you're always focusing. You bend down and you'll be focusing. What are you focusing? I said, okay, that's the name, Focus. So I changed my name to Focus PLC. So Focus Public Liability Company. So in my university, it was known as Focus.
And how old were you at that time, if I can say?
Probably, I was already about 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, the reason I asked about age is that sometimes from the African perspective, parents always look at 18 is still a child, right? 20 is still a child. And 22 is still, it's only when you get to 25 they start thinking, okay, you might know something up there. So for you to own your own business, for you to think about seeing yourself through education in the university, it's quite amazing.
Yeah, I mean, at the university, I lived like a middle class student.
Wow.
Yeah, because I mean, the
were
business gave me, and I had other businesses at home. I established a poultry farm. I had also a store that sold a poultry product, like a poultry feed and drugs and all of that. So,
Wow.
and I employed people, right?
And you are still in the university doing all this.
Absolutely, I was still at the university.
Talk about multitasking.
Well, that's has been my life.
Wow. Viewers at home, our guest today, Dr. Uche Nwankwo, is a community member and community advocate and community everything. Uche Nwankwo is so active in the African community and also in the Winnipeg South, helping families get through their days, helping community build their lives, and also ensuring that everything in our community is taken care of by helping each other to build their lives. So thank you, Dr. Uche, for all that we have learned about you today. I just wanted to ask, you have been very active in your neighborhood, and I know that because I receive information about what's going on in the Winnipeg South. Talk to viewers about what you do in Winnipeg South, or will I say in Manitoba, because I don't think Manitoba was a bigger field for you.
Well, not only the African community, but I still do, I mean, I intersect in different, several communities, but indigenous community, do work I'm doing in Broken Head Ojibwe Nation. Wow. And other communities. So you cut across, like when I was walking in here this morning, you talked about this place, and I said to you, we have a German-Canadian society. So we do have fruitstook or breakfast meeting here, though I haven't attended this year. So I also participate in Christmas market. I volunteer at the Christmas market. So it's just not only just the African community, that's what I wanted to say, but across Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. So because my upbringing, like I said, has been around helping people. And one of my principles is to help others to succeed. So when you see Dr. Uche or whatever, some of these award and accomplishment, it's not what defines me. What defines me is how I'm able to help other people achieve their goal or reach their objective. So if you are succeeding, then I'm succeeding. So that community connectivity. So for Africans in Winnipeg South, it was started in 2019. And it was born out of the desire to get the Africans to come together. I always say there's a strength in unified number. So when people come together, then they're able to, and when they unite and they put their resources, ideas together, then they're able to solve problems down if they're solving it individually. And most of the time, people come to people like us and you when they have problems, you know that, and they start grappling to how do you solve that and all of that. But we have a lot of resources individually that we can put together, and so in 2019, because I realized, by the way, I was former secretary of the Nigerians in the diaspora, NIDO, when it was NIDO, and so I played several leadership role. Community associations, I was the president of Umunna for 2 times, Multicultural Association of Manitoba Incorporated. So I discovered that our people, the African people, don't usually get involved a lot in such activities, advocacy, political advocacy, and integration and all of that, because people are just focusing mainly on their needs and their areas, so without realizing that together we can move mountain. So I made consultations with few people and saw the need for us to get together as a community. So we started Africans in Winnipeg South, incorporated it, and we've been...
So can I interject quickly on that statement you made? And I have also experienced that as well. You are not alone on that thought, that we are losing, we as Africans, we are losing our core value of volunteerism when we move in here. And it's not because we don't have the opportunity to do that, but I just don't know why it's so hard for us to volunteer our time and energy in doing the same thing we do back home.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know whether to call it means of survival strategy and maybe trying to to survive and prosper in their new home, and then focusing more on self because of the need to probably survive and get along. So they kind of put that aspect of community and togetherness on hold, on pause. And it's gradually starts to pile up, right? It starts to build up something. So if you're not remembering where you're coming from and understanding, then before you know it, you forget where you're going. So I think that's part of that raising, not because from what I've been doing and people I've been networking with, they see the need to do this and they put their time and energy to doing that. But that momentary thought of, okay, I need to survive in this environment. I need to be like, I get put food on the table for my family. That's always the cliche, right? You want to put food on the table for the family.
We want to be able to pay our bills.
And it's always that, it's always pay the bill and all of that. So we kind of get subsumed in that mentality and gradually we move away from the core principles and values that brought us up. Yeah, so that's what I think happens, especially for people who comes in newly into Canada.
Well, thank you so much for saying that. I think just hearing you talk about that makes me also realize how we have, when we move over here as immigrants, we tend to gradually shift our focus from what our core values to embracing our other values. We are not saying those values are not good. They are good, but we neglect the ones that we come with, and
especially the good ones.
Especially the good ones.
Recently, I also see that when you come to a place, you need to understand the environment and see the values and the things that make the place work. And if there's things from your background that probably made you to leave your home country, you don't bring those ideologies, I don't want to know if I need to call it values, but those lifestyle. You don't. Otherwise, you're going to make your new home more unlivable and uncomfortable, both for yourself, for your children, and for the next generation, and for the people that are already existing in that place.
Wow. Thank you so much. You said it well. I guess that will bring me to my next question, and that is, you have built a reputation around the community. Everybody knows you as someone that connects to people easily. Like, people feel comfortable around you to share their problems, their issues with you. As a people's person, right? People come to you with their own issues. Why do you think people are drawn to you? Why will they not come to me? They come to Uche, Dr. Uche. Focus.
Well, probably.
Or go to somebody else, but they come to you.
Yeah, usually, that happens a lot, and people out there can bear witness. They always when there's a problem or issue in the community, they'll say, talk to Focus, all right, or go to Focus, and I get a lot of that. So on the one hand, I consider it a privilege, an opportunity to help, right? So I'm not the best, I'm not the most efficient or effective person and all that, but I think it's a trust. And on the other hand, also getting things done, one who have empathy and compassionate, and who will always stand up for the people. And so when people see some of those qualities in you, that you can be trusted, you can give your time and attention to their needs, and they can always count on you. I think it makes people to be more comfortable to reach out to you.
And I hear what you said. It takes a lot, but again, it takes some time to build that trust and build that connection with people. Viewers at home, you are listening to Multicultural Community Hour, and today our guest is Dr. Uche Nwankwo. a philanthropist and an advocate and a community member, very active community member who is always and willing to help. I know a lot of people knows you and a lot of people trust you. And also, this is what we talk about in a community. It takes a lot to build a community. We need people that other people can trust. We need people that are answerable, people that are accountable, people that can feel what other people feel, people that empathize. And today, one of our guests is explaining to us, or rather one of our guests fits into all that narrative and is here to talk to us today on things that he's doing. So welcome again, Dr. Uche Nwankwo. And if you're joining us from home, if you're just joining us, please, we are talking to Dr. Uche Nwankwo here today, and he's here to share with us some of the jobs and tasks and projects that you are doing. He is also the founder of, the coordinator and founder of Africans in Winnipeg South.
So the Africans, so the C is capital, like African Canadian.
Okay, I just want to talk about this summer's time, because you took it up north. You took it up a little bit, and I know that you have you were busy during this summer giving out plants,
Seedlings.
Seedlings to people who want to go into gardening. And I'm thinking, wow, how did that go? Or how did you come about that concept?
Well, as you may know, I just completed a second master's degree at the Natural Resources Institute.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know that. Congratulations.
That was, yeah, so
Not
I'm
easy.
a lifelong learner.
Wow. I was hoping to be a lawyer, but I couldn't go back to school to go do that.
Yeah, I was, by childhood, I wanted to be a medical doctor, but again, we can talk about that later, another time. Yeah. So anyway, as a grad student, I was elected as University of Manitoba Graduate Student Association Senator. And part of the things that I campaigned on was the issue of food security or food insecurity at the campus, which is very, very prevalent. There was a study done at the university in 2015 that exposed high rate of food insecurity.
Is it University
of
in
Manitoba?
Manitoba? Yes. I thought you were talking about Nigeria.
No, we have done from
food insecurity in Manitoba?
Oh, you don't know about that?
No.
Oh, come on.
Oh, that's something new.
There's urban food insecurity. There are people that are on the street.
Wow.
There are students that have a high rate of food insecurity. A study was done at the University of Manitoba in 2015 that exposed that. Wow. And then as the University of Manitoba Graduate Student Association also, during that time, we had another study done in 2023. Yeah, we carried another survey which also showed a high rate of food insecurity. Wow. So it's, I mean, it's not like a wild thing, but
I'm hearing it for the first time.
No, but it's real. It's food insecurity. Urban food insecurity is real.
I know about urban food insecurity, but I didn't know about the campus one.
Yeah, it is.
And viewers at home, this is something for us to also talk about, think about. How can that be when students are supposed to be studying and not think about hunger?
Yeah.
And to hear that they go to class hungry. Wow, I never thought about that.
Yeah, and that's why we all need to, to realize that we are community. We are members of, so I often say the university environment is made up of the outside community as well. So we are part of it. And I want to say to everybody, it's not a digression per se, but I'll come back to that. Education is very core to our society development and improvement. So investment in education is investment in human capital and should be prioritized. In fact, there are 3 areas of our economy that I prioritize. I mean, I cannot say which one is higher on top of the hierarchy: education, health, care, agriculture, or food. These are very, very common. Anyway, so I decided to do something about that. After that survey, I we had a meeting with the president and told them the admin what we discovered and all of that. And part of my solution to that, since I couldn't do anything at the immediate, part of my solution was to encourage community gardening, students growing their own food, and probably donating part of those food to the restaurant at the school, because I spoke with the restaurant managers and they said, oh, this is a novel idea. And also it improves mental health when you're gardening, outdoor gardening, and also community integration as well, which is one of the goals, because if we have a community garden, and we're all talking about, and it happens a lot, oh, Florence, your garden is doing well. What are you doing to make it this? And your tomato is so huge and all of that. So it gets people to start talking. And then the exposure to, of course, yesterday, one graduate student told me that just feeling the soil, walking around the garden.
Feeling the soil.
Yeah, it improves the mental health, of course. So anyway, last year, part of my solution to reducing campus food insecurity, and at the same time improving mental health, was to encourage community gardening, utilizing available
among
space.
Students.
Also the communities, because
Also
so I'm doing this at the community level, and so but it started from the university. So I planted a lot of seeds, got some seed, and then planted it. Collaborated with the greenhouse manager, the Department of Soil Science, so they provided the platform, everything to propagate the seed, and then I distributed the seedling. Last year was to over 200 people. More than 200 people, both students and staff and community members, because I advertised it also on Africans in Winnipeg South and other social media.
Are you going to be doing it next year?
I did it this year and distributed to more than 450 people.
450.
We did that 4 times. So at different stages, we were handing out seedlings free to everybody.
Did you get, I just want to ask, did you get funding for doing that community gardening and buying the seed, or any donation?
The first one, I didn't get
funding.
I didn't get anything. So the second one, because you mentioned my skill in collaboration, in networking, and so I get things done through collaborating and networking with other people.
Wow.
So this year I thought of doing it differently. So let me use my networking skill and ability and the collaborative skills to get other people to get people to key into that. So I, of course, you know what? During my flashback again. During my National Youth Service in Nigeria, Nigeria, when you finish university, you use 1 year to serve. So it's a kind of paramilitary training. So I did my youth service in Nasarawa State, and I built a bus stop at the college. There's a Lafia college, and I helped the NYSC revitalize their poultry farm. I actually won an award, a state award in Asa.
Wow.
So when I completed the bus stop, on the day of the commissioning, the emir of Lafia and the local government chairman is an equivalent of a mayor in our city here, right? So they called me a social beggar. Do you know why they called me a social beggar? Because every bit of the material that was used in constructing that bus stop, including labor, my labor and the labor of all the bricklayers and the carpenters, were all sourced by me. So I begged for the nail.
Social beggar.
I begged for the nail. I begged for this. I was meeting people. So if you can give me cash, then give me material. And so I employed that experience back to so I went to Home Depot, I went to Ron Paul, I went to Rona on Keniston. So I told them this is what I'm doing and this implication and all of that, and they were very happy, willing to. So some donations.
I just want to interject there and thank all that made this possible, and because this shows that when community come together, things happen. So a big shout out to Rona, to Ron Paul,
Mino Bimazwin Partnership Program at the University of Manitoba.
Okay.
TNT Seeds down on Roblin.
Okay, TNT Seeds company. Thank you so much.
So they and what I do is that I appreciate all my social media posting and all the flyers that are being distributed. So their names were all there.
But it's also wonderful to realize that businesses and companies are willing to collaborate and support. And that's what we are talking about.
Especially for
when
a noble
we talk
cause.
about community.
Yeah, community. And they wanted to give back. They are giving back. And in all dimensions. So I give a shout out to businesses in Winnipeg, in Manitoba, because they're very supportive. They have human heart and human feeling.
Yeah.
You know, so they are happy to do all of this.
Wow.
Very, very happy to do all. So we were able to propagate more than 30,000 seedlings that was handed out to over 450 people free, and both at the university and the community level.
Wow.
And they've been sending me pictures of the progress, and by the grace of God, we're going to do this again next year.
Thank you so much, Dr. Uche Nwankwo, alias Focus. Viewers at home, if you are joining us now, we were talking to our guest, Dr. Uche Nwankwo, on how his experiences have shaped him and helped him to live the life he's living today, serving the community, being a member of the community, being active, and also helping to ensure that our community is growing. And when we come back, we'll be talking about where do you draw your strength from? Welcome back to you, Multicultural Channel. You are watching Community Hour, and our guest today is Dr. Uche Nwankwo, alias Focus. Uche was talking to us about how his growing up has affected his life and how he's giving back to the community. And he's also an advocate for good things, agri, for the growth of the community. And before we went on break, you were talking to us about collaboration and how companies, agri companies and other businesses help to collaborate with you and saw the success of the seedlings and community gardening that happened this summer.
Yeah.
But I wanted us to also talk about Africans in Winnipeg South.
Yeah.
Because that's a huge one. I always get information about things happening there. And please talk to viewers a little bit about what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so Africans in Winnipeg South, like I said previously, was started in 2019, and born out of the need to get Africans to come together and solve community problems and advocacy, participate, volunteer politically, and also be able to attend to the need of the people, and at the same time contribute to our community. That's the wider Winnipeg and Manitoba Canadian community. So the first thing that we did was the COVID-19. It was very controversial. Myth, a lot of myth, a lot of conspiracy theory and misinformation, a lot of that, and doomsday saying and all of that. So it's a mark of the beast, it's what is going to end and all of that. And
so were you, the Winnipeg South, were you trying to disabuse people's mind on this myth?
Not just to, when you say disabuse.
Or rather, sorry,
maybe like they were taking side already.
Maybe wrong words, but how do you try to change the narratives?
Yeah, so I wanted people to get informed. To make informed decision based on
science, I guess.
Yeah, I just want to use the word science because again it will also make it look like it's biased. But let me say, the Bible says we shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. So to know the truth, to get as much information as you can and know the truth, factual, fact-based and evidence-based information so that you can decide and not get, swayed by doomsday sayers, naysayers, and all of the conspiracy. And this also have happened in the area of biotechnology. I don't want to get to that because sometimes because since we don't control the information, the media and all that, so what you're fed, so some people tend to cling onto that without even researching and all that. And that happens, people forward or the forwarded as received and all that people. So we wanted, and we're living in the university environment. Africans in Winnipeg South, University of Manitoba is situated in that neighborhood. And
so it's supposed to be an academic neighborhood
and
where people will academically informed.
And a lot of our people are professors, are researchers, infectious disease experts, and all of that, functional food, and that's award-winning professors.
And yet
we have all of this. So we the goal was to bring these people together to tell us what they know, because they're also part of the community.
But I don't want us to digress so much, but I just want to make that point that even COVID era was a dark period in every society and in every community.
Absolutely.
So people just stopped trusting what they read, what they see, and people were not sure of anything anymore.
Yeah. So that's the reason why we wanted to bring people who are also in the field and who are also like us. One of the speakers was a friend of mine in Germany. So we did masters and PhD at the Humboldt University together. So all the way, he's a medical expert and a writer. So he was part of the speaker, and then Professor Juduzon, and then Professor Jim Strong. And so we wanted to hear from them. Okay, so like my father used to say, he can't tell you a lie. He will say, Nwankwo, I can tell you a lie. So we wanted to hear from the people that at least we trust, that they cannot tell us a lie.
A lie.
And in all that of me, or darkness and uncertainty and all of that. So if I come to you and I trust you and I know you that you won't deceive me, then if I'm looking for answer to a question because I trust you, then I want you to tell me in reality. So that's what we did, and we brought all these people together to demystify and at the same time address those areas of concern. And so that was done, and that was the first thing that we did. And then came the time of Bill 64, which a little bit of controversial, and people don't understand what the bill is all about and all of that. We are seeing kill Bill 64, say no to bill. So there was also confusion in the community about and like I said, we are situated in the university environment and all of that. So we also got people together.
Okay, so hearing this now, I feel excluded in your community because you keep saying that Winnipeg, Africans in Winnipeg South is situated around academic area, university environment. So how do people like us who are away from, how do we get those informations passed on to us?
Yeah, we do share that information through our community networks.
Okay.
And so again,
how can you expand that network now? Like to reach out, especially on information sharing.
Yeah.
I am much more interested in the information sharing, making sure that some myths that people are, like you mentioned, Bill 64. Those people know what we are talking about. How can you explain to others what it means exactly?
Yeah, so that's actually why because we also didn't understand it because we're not in politics. So, but we are seeing kill B64, say no to B64, abolish B64, and all. It was a lawn sign everywhere. In fact, I took a picture of a lawn that has more than 5 of those signs all put together, right? So I was curious, just like every other Manitoban, Winnipegan, and so we're curious. And we wanted to hear from people. James Bedford, who is the president of Manitoba Teachers Society, and then we had Alan Campbell, president Manitoba School Board Association, and Josh Brandon, the AGA director for Canadian Center for Policy Alternative. We had Dougal Lamond, who was the leader of Liberal Party then, and then we had Minister of Education, who was invited, and also Nello Ultimate, may his soul rest in peace. He was also invited at that meeting too, because he was the education critic of NDP government, a very wonderful, nice person. And
Okay.
yeah. So those people were invited to demystify, to explain to us what it's all about. So, and back to your question, the information was shared widely and both on social media page and then distributed to community members. So again, we had people, attendance from diverse group of people. And those people that were also at the way, asked them to share the information.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you again, Dr. Uche Nwankwo. I know you have a lot to talk about in the community because you are someone that is out and about, out there in the community and very, very accessible to everyone and every services that is out there, connecting people to services and all that. So I just want to say thank you for being here again. But before we close this show, I just wanted to find out, how do you are such a busy person, very busy, and you also have your job. But I just
and young family.
And a young family, of course, you know, chaperoning them from one activity, sports activities to school activities, I know that. But I just wanted to know, how do you find the motivation to do all these things?
Okay, so again, my principle in life, like
and not getting discouraged.
Yeah, helping people to succeed and also not giving up, right? Yeah, I am someone who doesn't always I say I've hit the brick wall. So I always try to, okay, if this didn't work, this other may work. And I draw inspiration on the fact that, first of all, my relationship with God and humanity. So, you know how the Bible says that love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. So, and the other one that say do to other people as you would want them to do to you. So, just those are the things that inspire me, get going. So, and because I also understand that when you collaborate with other people, when people trust you and when people can count on you, then they will collaborate with you. And because I get this result, like I don't often get we're talking about this the community gardening and all of that. So I show up your shop and say, hey, Florence, this is what I'm doing, and I want you to partner with me, and this is this problem will be solved, and you'll be very happy. And they were all saying, oh, by all means, let's do that. Right? So those are the things that inspire me. And again, I'm given to problem solving. When I see problem, I try to see solution, right? So that in the area of, let's say, the food insecurity, or even when the UNFA were on strike and after the COVID, I try to see what can be done, and also organize a community cafe to discuss the UNFA strike. And one thing is that, you know, some of those advocacy meetings, community cafes, and all of that engagement that I have helped to organize, it always end up, getting result. And some people might say it is by chance or luck. And I say, well, I love those kind of chance and luck when I advocate for something or I put my energy and it works.
Yeah.
You know, just like when people pray and then something and then that. So if I have done something and it happened, I love that kind of coincidence. I love that kind of luck than if I didn't do anything at all.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Uche Nwankwo. Viewers at home, our guest today is a community member. I will start with the community member, but I just wanted to give us a little rundown of what we've discussed today, and that is how experiences growing up can shape our actions of tomorrow. Dr. Uche Nwankwo is very active in the community and has been able to connect businesses and other companies or labors or other people to each other, helping families grow, helping our community grow. The once known as social beggar, the once known as social beggar has turned that social begging to collaboration. Because social beggar actually, when changed in a different form, is collaboration, right?
Yeah.
Networking and collaboration. he has worked on social begging to move it from social begging to collaboration and networking, and how community can succeed by doing these two things and build a stronger community. So thank you so much for being here today. We are highly honored to have you. And from the African value system, we always said those who have experiences should advise those who do not. So today, I think viewers, we have learned something from you, and that is to use those things that we are endowed with to ensure that our environment, our surroundings, and that our community grows. So thank you for doing that. Thank you so much for being here today.
I appreciate that.
I think one last question I always ask everybody. If you were to make a wish, if God or the government or anybody asks you, what is your wish? What can I do for you? What would be your wish?
To continue to get favor from people so that I can continue to do what I want to do, what I feel doing. But the other thing that I didn't touch about, which you read, donating medical supplies, books, computers. And so I'm always looking for people to collaborate with, to partner with. So my wish will be that God grants me strength and grace and favor so that when I come to you and say, hey, we need to do this project, we need to do this advocacy, you'll be willing to go along with me. So that'll be my wish.
Thank you so much. And one last thing, and I know viewers, some of you might want to connect with Dr. Uche for a project or the other. How can people get to you if they want to connect with you?
Well, I'm very, very out. And
do you have a website? Do you have an account, Facebook?
I can be connected through my phone number, and I think people, if they check me out, they will see my phone number, email address, and Facebook.
And your email address is, tell viewers.
Okay, my email address is connected to Focus, that name. So it's Focus, FOCUSMACJ @yahoo.com.
Thank you for watching You Multicultural. You will join us next time on our show.